Hey, now welcome. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station, and we are still creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And here we are moving into another week of a beautiful reset button, This is an opportunity to start all over, to think about what didn't go well, to put it back together, and to do it better this time. So I have been laboring for quite some time this morning, and it hit me because I realized so many people are under the impression that because they don't have a job or because their job shut down, that they don't have a job. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. And the real deal is this: even if you don't have a job, your number one job, after acknowledging and being a child of God, your number one job is your own job. Your number one job is your own business. Your number one job is the thing that you should be doing for yourself. Now, let me be clear. If you have a job, respect it, protect it, be great in it. As a matter of fact, now is the time to excel, to be excellent, to really come through. You know, I shared in one of my social media posts that, you know, this is the time when everybody has to work together. We all have to work together to survive. It's like being in locked arms with everybody else in the world, and we're on a tightrope, and there's fire below. And if one person falls, everybody falls. So this is a great opportunity, as far as I'm concerned, in world teamwork, in human teamwork, in camaraderie, communication, mutual respect and understanding. So you want to be great and do the thing that your boss or whomever needs you to do. If you're working from home, if you are on a modified schedule, if things are moving and shifting, and you might be frustrated, but be patient. Be patient. Think about what you would want if this was your business and if this was your specific time of need. So I want you to respect that job. But if you don't have a job, understanding that your job is making your job. Your job is to make a job. It is my firm belief that we need to stop teaching these kids to go to school, get a good education so they can get a good job. We need to teach kids how to love and honor each other, go to school, get that education so they can create jobs. See, creating jobs is what we all want to do. Creating work opportunities, living in our gift, finding our skill set and our passion and the things that we do naturally and the things that we do well. That's what it should be about. So if you don't have a job, then your job is to look for a job and to create your own. You know, I remember working for the bank and in any company I've ever worked for, but I remember working and I remember managing their budget and mismanaging my own. I remember working so hard, being excellent, but not doing anything for myself. Is that you? Is that what's happening to you right now? Are you working harder for someone else's business than you are for your own? Are you managing somebody else's budget, but you are living check to 2 o'clock? That was me. That was me. So the deal is to work just as hard. Don't throw away the other business. See, that's the other thing we do. We get wrong. We get cocky. We get arrogant. We say I'm going to start my business and I don't want to work for them anyway and they're stressing me out. Let me tell you something. Whatever situation you are in, this is a test. And God is not promoting powders. He's not doing it. So whatever your situation is, whatever job you are in, no matter how stressful it is, give it your best. Give it your best. And when you can't do it anymore, then leave or plan to leave with some dignity and some respect. But I believe that it's possible to do it all, together. I think you can do it all. So what I have come up with today to discuss is these are the reasons why we don't start a business and how are we going to overcome them. The reasons why you don't start a business or why you don't blow up a business, the reasons why don't start a business and how to overcome them. Let me tell you something. We're going to be faced with this thing. There's no getting around it. If I have people on social media cracking up, laughing. It's like every time they think they can run from me, here I come with something else. Yep, I'm coming. I'm coming back. I'm coming back with more information. I'm coming back with more knowledge. I'm coming back with an improved strategy. I'm coming back because you can't get away from this. The virtuous woman of Proverbs had 9 jobs. 9. So I'm going to talk about those 9 jobs, and I'm going to talk about the reasons why you don't start a business and what to do about it. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation. We have to take a break for traffic and weather. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hi, this is Lynn Richardson. Are you one of the 20 in 2020? That's right. I'm going to take 20 people in the year of 2020 and help you crack the code to make your first $100,000 or your next $100,000. Visit www.lynnrichardson.com. Click Connect with Lynn. That's www.lynnrichardson.com. Are you one of my 20 in 2020?
A little check to Monday. A little check to Monday. A little check to Monday. Are you little check to Monday? Lynn Richardson will tell you what you need to do. She is a mortgage guru, no doubt about it. She knows her stuff. Hey, the girl is tough. She's gonna give you the real deal in money, credit and financial security. Buy your book today, no need to wait. Live a check to Monday. Hey, live a check to Monday. Live a check to Monday. Live a check to Monday. Are you live a check to Monday? Get your copy of Check to Monday today. 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 www.checktomonday.com. A little check to Monday. A little check to Monday. Check to Monday. Are you living check to Monday? Lynn Richardson will tell you what you need to do. She is a mortgage guru, no doubt about it. She knows her stuff. Hey, the girl is tough. She's gonna give you the real deal in money, credit and financial security. Buy your book today, no need to wait. Live a check to Monday. Hey, live a check to Monday.
Do you want to leave a legacy for your loved ones? Do you know the difference between an estate plan and a will? Are you newly engaged and concerned about getting a prenuptial agreement? Are you married to your child's mother or father, and do you know what happens to insurance money if you are not? Call your wealth counselor, Attorney Deidre Woodstokes. With over 22 years of experience, Attorney Stokes has all the answers you need to help you secure your family's financial future. You can find Attorney Stokes on Lynn's list at www.lynnmillionaire.com. That's www.lynnmillionaire.com, or call 888-LYNN-123. That's 888-596-6123. Protect your legacy now. Sync your life with Denise Wiggins and Lip Sync Cosmetics. Do you need extra cash? Want to start a home-based business known around the globe? Do you want to join a sisterhood that is growing by leaps and bounds? Then become a Lip Sync Cosmetic ambassador. Visit www.lipsyncosmetics.com. That's www.lipsyncosmetics.com and submit your ambassador application today.
Hey, now welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station, and we are still creating millionaires, one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And yes, even now, right now. So for everybody who doesn't have a job, you're going to create a job. That's right. Everybody's got a job. You either have a job that you went to. If it's not there anymore, if they shut down, then your job is to get a job and to create a job. So everybody has to have their own business. Now, I talked about really briefly the virtuous woman of Proverbs, the Proverbs 31 woman. We know that she had a lot of faith, and, you know, she's supposed to be the ideal and one of the models that women are to achieve for. But I would say not just women, but also men. It's a great example of how a woman undergirds her household, and her husband respects her and trusts her. And but she had 9 jobs. And as I thought about this, I said, I think it's important for us to understand that since the beginning of time, people, once they are aware, and literally, you're born, you get here, and you eat and you take care of your basic needs. But in order to do that, people are working and looking for opportunities and really creating those opportunities themselves. So it is still in you. It's in you. It never left. It may feel like it dried up, but it is there. So everybody has to start a business. And this country is run by small businesses. We are the engine of the country. The country will do everything that it can to protect and to help small businesses recover. And I saw one of the press conferences, and, you know, somebody said, well, what about individuals? Like, you're giving all this money to businesses, but what about individuals? Individuals are working for the business, and it seems like the individual should matter. But I'm going to tell you, the entire tax code is set up on 2 things, and it's this versus that. It's not black versus white. It's not rich versus poor. I know you think it is, but it's not. It's not rich versus poor. It's not black versus white. It's employee versus business. And the way employees get taxed is completely different than the way businesses get taxed. Let me give you an example. I know a lot of people who travel. Literally, they have to travel to go to work every day. They have to drive for 30 minutes, get on a train, a bus, or what have you. Do you understand when you leave your house and go to your job, that's called a commute? You cannot write it off. But when you leave your house, your home-based business, and drive anywhere, just about anywhere. You go to the post office for business. You go out to have a meal for business. You go to the bookstore for business. You go have a meeting somewhere for business. Every time you get in your car, if you keep it a mileage log, you get to write that off. So what does that tell you? The government wants you to be in business. So the virtuous woman of Proverbs had 9 jobs. It says she select wool and flax. Flax is a plant fiber to make the wool or the linen come together. So she was a seamstress. She went to the merchant ships. I think she was a trader. She managed her household because she set aside the food for her family and her servants. They didn't do it for her. She did it for them. She considered a field and bought it. Out of her earnings, she planted a vineyard. I think she was a real estate broker. She owned a vineyard. She saw that her trading was profitable, so she was a wholesaler. She also gave to the poor. She was a philanthropist. And then we know she was a mother and a wife. So you are going to start a business. I'm going to tell you why you don't and how to get over it. We have to take a break for news, traffic, and weather. We'll be right back. And I am taking questions. 312-374-8130. Don't turn that dial.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Are you an exceptional real estate or financial services professional? Do you have a business or service that can improve the lives of others? You may qualify to serve the world as a member of Lynn's List. Visit www.lynnmillionaire.com. That's www.lynnmillionaire.com. MILLIONAIRE.com or call 888-LYNN-123 extension 5. That's 888-LYNN-123 extension 5 for more details.
What you need to do. She is a mortgage guru, no doubt about it. She knows her stuff. Hey, the girl is tough. She's gonna give you the real deal in money, credit, and financial security. Buy your book today, no need to wait. Live a check to Monday. Hey, live a check to Monday. Live a check to Monday. Live a check to Monday. Are you living Check to Monday? Get your copy of Check to Monday today.
Hey, now, welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. Where am I? I'm doing 15 things. I was about to say the real deal in real estate. That's an old show. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station. You follow this show at Lynn Millionaire. Or online at www.lynnmillionaire.com. My website is Lynn Richardson, where you can get help. The radio show website is Lynn Millionaire, where you can not only get help, but you can also follow this show, click listen live. I am taking calls at 312-374-8130. Laura, you are on the Millionaires Roundtable. Do you have a question for me?
Good morning. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for taking my call. I just got my DBA license to teach life skills and anger management, things like that, but I want to do it from home, and I also want to hire my daughter. How can I do both and not get in trouble with the IRS?
Tell me why you think you're going to get in trouble with the IRS.
Because I'm just not educated. I don't know that what I can and cannot do, how much I can make at home, and things like that.
Okay, so there is no limit to the amount of money you can make at home. Do you have some other reason why you wouldn't be able to make money?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking these questions this way is because I want us to stop thinking that we can't do things, right? So you can make as much money as you want to make. The government loves small businesses. The government loves people who have their home-based business. So in my How to Start a Home-Based Business webinar, I go through all of it. Now, here's the one thing that is good. The good thing is that you're called and getting help. The next thing after that is you have to commit to getting an education. I have been listening to Sandy Botkin and getting a tax education for 12 years, and I still don't know everything. So there's a reason why people like Warren Buffett and Mitt Romney and Jeff Bezos, there's a reason why they make billions of dollars, but they don't pay, they hardly pay anything in taxes. It's because they have hired enough people who know the tax code, who have helped them set their life up like a business. So you're going to have to learn how to live your life like a business. So IRS Publication 15 on page 13, it literally says, yes, you can hire your child to work in your home-based business. You can pay each child up to $12,400 a year. And that money is tax-free to them. They don't pay any taxes on the money. You don't have to withhold any taxes. And guess what? That's now a tax write-off on your Schedule C of your 1040 tax return. So that's just one thing. There are 475. That's crazy, right? Yeah, that's just one thing. And there are 475. So what you want to do is decide. Go out there. There's all kind of people teaching all kind of things. But I do have a webinar on the weekend. I have coaching that goes on throughout the week. I'm communicating with people on a daily basis. But the first thing that you've done is to start your home-based business, which is great. You got a DBA, but you don't have to. I tell people you don't have to. Your business is your name and your Social Security number. That's your business. Like literally, I could be in business today as Lynn Richardson with my Social Security number, and then stating what I actually do. So what do you do? So you are doing, what did you say that you're doing in your business?
Life skills classes,
I love it.
Interview techniques, anger management with families, and communication with either families or individuals. And so I have been asked because I did it before and my DBA license lapsed because I moved a lot and I just did not get to get settled. But anyways, I reinstated it a couple months ago. So now I want to get back, and I've been approached by different agencies to come into their site and teach the single moms those classes. But now that this has happened with this outbreak, we're just kind of waiting. But I want to still go ahead and get started, even if I have to do it over the phone or
that's what I was going to say.
Skype
yeah,
or whatever.
You don't have to wait because let me tell y'all something. Home-based businesses and online businesses are thriving right now. Virtual businesses. Mm-hmm. So you want to find different ways to still communicate and to still get your service and your product out there, whether you physically go or not. As a matter of fact, you know, one of the things that you should be looking for in business, you should be trying to figure out how to get to as many people with as little effort as possible. Think about something like Facebook. Facebook is reaching billions of people with one little platform, right? So that's what you want to do with your business. You want to figure out how to get it to as many people as you possibly can, because what happens in a lot of businesses, and this is, I'm going to go through the list of the reasons why people don't start their business. And the first reason that people don't start their business is because they say they don't have time. You know, they're working on their job, they're trying to raise their family, they're stressed out. Get unstressed out because you control time. Time doesn't control you, you control time. So I'm going to highly recommend that you're going to have to wake up every day, sit, pull out your computer, have your thoughts, have your checklist, go through the steps, figure out what's next, who's the next connection. You have to turn it on. And I think right now, if you turn it on and you learn the game, like you learn how to start a home-based business and run it properly and run your life like a business, your whole entire life is going to change. Everything about you and what you're doing is going to change. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay, all right. So you're going to hire that daughter. Reach out to me. Go to lynnrichardson.com or just go to asklynn.org. asklynn.org. Submit your question there. I'll get you your answer. I'll lead you step by step because it's very hard for me to solve the whole problem here, right?
Correct.
So
correct. Right.
yeah,
right.
yeah. So I'll lead you step by step, and it's like if you're learning math, you can't start at division. You actually have to start at addition. You have to learn how to add. Then you have to learn how to subtract. Then you have to learn how to multiply, because once you get to division, you have to do all three things in order to even understand how a division problem works. So it's the same thing with your life and your business. First, I'm going to teach you how to add. Then I'm going to teach you how to subtract. Then multiply, divide, and eventually you'll be on your own, okay? So thank you so much for this call. Thank you, Laura. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you going to the next level. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation. I am taking calls right now, 312-374-8130. Why people don't start a business and what to do about it. So the number one reason why people don't start a business is they don't have time. You can't say that now. You got all the time in the world. And do not waste your time sitting on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat all day long. Get on there, spend your time, promote your business, even if all you know is your name, get your domain name, promote your business, and then move on. You're going to have to control time. You're going to have to figure out how you are going to manage this and master this game. You're going to have to get your kids under control. You're going to have to, let me tell you something, all the women who are out there trying to do everything. I have 3 children. They are healthy, sane, alive, well, kind. They're educated. They're God-fearing. I have a husband. I've been married, happily married, not just married, happily married for 25 years. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't do it all. I don't do it all. Now, there were years when I did. I cooked, I cleaned, I took them to cheerlead. I did all of that. But then at some point in life, you got to understand you can do it all. You just can't do it all at the same time. So guess what? They had to clean up their own room. My 2 youngest, when they were 2 and 3, they had to make their own bed. They had to change their own linen. They had to wash their own clothes. They had to go get their own food. I remember coming home from a business trip, and my youngest daughter left her lunch. Too bad. Too bad. Yeah, I was only a few blocks away, but she needed to learn the lesson. You can't forget your lunch. Because the first time she forgot her lunch, I woke up from my nap because I travel a lot, so I have to get my sleep. I took the lunch up there, and I guess she just figured she just had a regular old Uber, Lynn Richardson Uber, to come bring her lunch. The next time she left that lunch, she did not get one. And guess what? She survived, and she was okay. So I don't try to do everything. Because if I tried to do everything, I wouldn't be doing the right thing. So you've got to figure out the right thing for you to do. So I have to focus on this business. I have to spend time on it. I have to strategize. I have to plan. And I can't do all that and cook, clean, eat, all that. I can't do it all. I cannot. So I divided up the responsibilities in the family, and everybody understood where we were trying to go, and everybody understood the big prize at the end. And the big prize at the end is harmony and peace. So I want you to get this. Not having time is not the answer. That's not the answer. Number two, the number two reason why people don't start a business, you scared you're going to fail. I'm going to address that. We have to take a break for traffic and weather. This is the Millionaires Roundtable on WVON. We'll be right back.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Creating generational wealth one family at a time is the mission of Lynn's List member Monica Poland with RE/MAX Synergy. Do you want to buy commercial or residential real estate? Are you a first-time home buyer or investor? Need help with a short sale or property staging? Visit www.lynnmillionaire.com. That's www.lynnmillionaire.com to schedule your consultation with Lynn's List member Monica Poland of RE/MAX Synergy.
A little check to Monday. A little check to Monday. A little check to Monday. Are you little check to Monday? Lynn Richardson will tell you what you need to do. She is a mortgage guru, no doubt about it. She knows her stuff. Hey, the girl is tough. She's gonna give you the real deal in money, credit and financial security. Buy your book today, no need to wait. Live a check to Monday. Hey, live a check to Monday. A little check to Monday. A little check to Monday. Are you living check to Monday? Get your copy of Check to Monday today. 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 www.checktomonday.com.
Hey, now, welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station. And we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. Anybody who you run into who says they don't have a job, tell them to go make one. That's right. You don't have a job. Now is the time to start your business. The first reason why people don't start a business, they say they don't have time. That is definitely not the case now. Number two, you're scared you're going to fail. Listen, you can't fail until you quit. You're going to mess up. Things are going to go wrong. I have been doing this for 20 years. I keep having to retweak and redo and rethink. You have to keep going until you get it. And you're not going to make $1 million in the first week. It's not going to happen. Now, if you're lucky and something happens, great. But that's not usually how it goes. It usually comes after hard work, consistent work, persistent effort, and just an unwillingness to quit, okay? So don't be afraid to fail. Fail and keep on going. If you fall 7 times, get up 8. If you look up, you can get up, whatever it is. But keep going. Don't let failure. Who are you ashamed of, in front of? Nobody. Like, if people are laughing at you and talking about you, that's the wrong group anyway. Because where I come from, when I fail or when somebody doesn't do the right thing, we lift each other up. So you may need a new circle. I'm taking calls at 312-374-8130. Chance, you are on the Millionaires Roundtable. What's your question?
Hello, how you doing?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I've been thinking for a really long time about publishing my own book. And I have, like, constantly went back and forth with myself because I'm like, should I self-publish? Should I not? Should I go to a publishing house? Like, what should I do? And I did my research on Amazon, and I'm still kind of like, I don't understand if that's the best way to go about the process.
So here's the problem. Sometimes we want to do something and we research for 15,000 years and never get it done. Get in the game and do it. So I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out if I want to self-publish or go to a publishing house. I'd start writing the book. Have you started writing the book yet?
Yes, I have.
Is it finished?
No.
Okay, so that's step one. So here's the other thing that doesn't work. What doesn't work is trying to figure out how to make step 10 go, and step 2 isn't done. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
you don't want to spend any time researching Amazon, trying to figure out if you're going to self-publish if you don't have the book. Get the book. Because, see, here's what happens. When you make one step in the right direction, 5 steps are made back towards you. The energy, your effort, and all of that combine to create your next step and your next opportunity. But if you're on step 1, overthinking and trying to figure out what's going to happen on step 20, that's called a loop. That's a trick of the enemy, and it's a trick in the mind. And many people are looping, meaning they're going around and around in a circle and never getting anywhere. So your job is to get out of the loop. So the first thing I want you to do is go to asklynn.org, submit your inquiry so I can send you the information about the webinar, How to Write a Book. There's one coming up next weekend. It's easy steps. So many people have written their books as a result of me teaching this particular class. Salt from Salt and Pepper's writing her book. Erica Campbell from Mary Mary wrote her book. Michelle Thornton, vice president at BET, wrote her book. Dr. Bernada wrote her book. I mean, so many people literally were overthinking it and thought it was a much bigger thing than it was. So that's what I want you to do. And once you get in the class, I want you to write the book, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. All right, you're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. Mark, you are on the Millionaires Roundtable. What is your question?
Hi, how you doing? I listen to you quite often. I want to see how it turns out with these. You're going to take them 10 people and turn them into one. Get them their first 100,000, right?
No, I'm not giving anybody anything.
No, I didn't say
They're gonna work hard to make this for 20 and 20. Yeah, the 20 and.
This is my thing here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with this Corona coming out, I got a different outlook on a lot of things, especially business. Now, I work for the PO. I'm a driver for the U.S. The post office. I'm also a driver for the city. But I come down here. My first run is Chinatown. Everybody down here got a mask on. So what tripped me out is this. We come to a place where we deal with people who don't really like us. We go to we patronize their business. We get our nails done in their shop. Our girls do. Get their feet done. We go to their stores and buy all this beauty supply stuff. Well, we got this epidemic has made me think different. We got to start doing our own thing. Black ladies, you guys got all this knowledge. Come on, you got to get out here and open up your shops. We can bring the business to each other. One thing we have to start do. Two things we got to do is get rid of the attitudes and be on time. You can't have people in your shop telling them you can't book people for appointments and you come 3 hours late and these people are backed up because they have places to go as well. That's why we lose business. The Chinese people are there all day. Y'all not being there. We got to get something. I don't know, Lynn, what is it that we got to do?
Well, you know what I say. I live by Colossians 3:23. Work as if you're working for the Lord and not for men. So anything that you do it as if you're presenting it to the highest power. So would you show up late for the highest power? Would you show up late for God? Would you not be excellent? Would you not do all of it? Now, that's not to say that people are not going to make mistakes. Any business that's out here, there are going to be mistakes. There have been people who, they wanted a book or something and the book didn't get to them on time. They're mad at us. We sent the book. Now it's the post office or UPS or whomever. We also have to have some patience with each other. And we have to understand that things are not going to be perfect. The only place they're going to be perfect is in heaven. So, but if we do both things, if one, everybody works hard, work as if you're working for the Lord, not for men, and two, have some patience, we can get to the next level up. We are talking about what are the things that people, or the reasons why people do not start a business and what to do about it. And I think I'm going to have to continue this discussion tomorrow. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM. Go to lynnrichardson.com or asklynn.org. Submit your inquiry. Get help now. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.